only made things worse. Reporting live tonight in Griffin, I'm George Franco, Fox 5 News.
Well, if it's hard to imagine solar panels on nearly every Georgia roof, remember, it wasn't that long ago that people laughed about the idea of computers inside nearly every Georgia home.
That gives some perspective. Yeah. Well, a new law allowing homeowners to lease those solar panels rather than actually buy them is expected to generate big sales, but also some big complaints. The Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis is here now with what he learned in an undercover investigation.
That's right, Sine and Russ. State regulators predicted the new law would attract solar power marketers who use sales gimmicks to fool the consumer. Little did they know the Fox 5 I-Team was already on the case.
Depending on your size family and your consumption and what your lifestyle is, somewhere between there, you probably will zero out on your electric bill.
You think I'll zero out on my electric bill?
That's what the solar salesman said. No electric bill if you buy his system. Wouldn't that be nice? Sure. Wouldn't that be impossible?
There is great advantage to that, to having rooftop solar, but it's not going to be the end of all ends.
Longtime Public Service Commissioner Stan Wise wrote this AJC editorial earlier this month, worried about rosy promises Georgians may soon get from solar power marketers. A new law allows homeowners to lease those solar arrays, making them far more attractive than paying $30,000 or $40,000 up front. But Wise says even solar customers will still get a power bill for those cloudy days or at night when solar is not generating any juice. So there's no possible way that you can zero out your electric bill without spending a lot of money for backup generators and batteries and things like that.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have to have a backup source of generation.
That's not his only concern. Check out this proposal Solar Sale USA gave a Georgia customer. An estimate justifying solar's initial big cost because standard electric rates are expected to jump 10% each year. Wise calls that deceptive marketing too.
It hasn't been that case. It's been about 2%.
He's talking an average over the last 30 years. Last year, electric rates jumped 4% in the South. Let me put on a pair of Fox 5 I-Team sunglasses to show you the true solar scheme. If the company says that electric rates are going to go up 10% each year, well, then it makes solar power seem that much more attractive. But if they tell you it's going to go up just 2% a year, well, then it'll take years longer to make back your investment. When this Solar Sale USA marketer met with an undercover Fox 5 I-Team producer, listen to how high he predicts electric rates would be jumping.
I think 30%.
30%? Wow.
And if you do an amortization, even at 15%, it's pretty big.
30%, 15%. Turns out it's the same salesman who told this customer electric prices will be jumping 10% a year. But nowhere does he use what the PSC says is the true number, an annual average of 2%. Solar may eventually be free, but electricity is still relatively cheap.
My return on investment is going to be longer than I thought it was going to be.
Why are you saying 10% when it's only been, 2% average in Georgia over the last 30 years?
It has been? Where'd that information come from?
The Public Service Commission, Stan Wise. You make this prediction that there are going to be people like this. Now you see it on video. What's your reaction?
Again, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I would have expected it. I wouldn't have expected it so quickly.
So 10% would be a total exaggeration in your mind?
I absolutely believe that, even in the worst case scenario.
How about 30%?
30% is outrageous. It's just absurd.
Since we can monitor online, it's kind of fun for us to see throughout the day where the peaks are.
Of course, there are many Georgians like Carmi McGuire thrilled with how their rooftop solar is working. To figure how long it would take to make back her $11,000 investment, Alternative Energy Southeast projected the rise in electric rates at 3.78% annually, very close to last year's increase.
Power bill's been pretty awesome. Our last power bill was $15.
Really?
Yeah.
She's fine knowing it may take 14 years before she starts using truly free power.
I think a lot of people think it's, we couldn't possibly do that, and it's overwhelming because it's new. You'll see that it actually makes sense.
The best place to put solar panels on your roof is the side that faces directly south. If they don't face that way, it will take longer to produce the power needed to make up the initial money you spend. And that's why that woman at the end, Carney McGuire, it's going to take 14 years for her to make back her $11,000 because her house isn't situated directly south. So it's just not going to pull in as much juice. It's just going to take a lot longer. But the salesman has to tell you that so you can make a legitimate purchase.
Yeah, buyer beware, and sometimes it's good to do your own research as well.
It is, and Stan Wise predicts that there's going to be a flood of complaints to consumer protection once the solar power marketing really takes off here in Georgia, and we'll keep an eye on it for you.
We appreciate it, Randy.
Okay, Randy, thanks very much. Well, a terrifying crime.